What needs to be done?
Look, a military encampment's a complicated thing. I don't expect it to be as peaceful and orderly as Holy Mass. But what we have here now is havoc. The men are as nervous and short-tempered as caged bears. When you walk around the camps, you'll see for yourself. Grumbling everywhere, complaints about everything from the gruel to the fleas. They're moaning they've drunk the alehouse dry, and now they have to wait for the next batch of beer. We've got dead who deserve a decent burial, and a lot of wounded, including one of their lordships. The less the troops grumble, the better off we'll all be. But that's not even the main problem.
What do you mean?
Did you hear what Sir Divish was saying to Fafar, our master builder?
I heard some of it.
And what did you make of it?
He said he'd never built a trebuchet catapult. I wouldn't even know where to start, but he might.
But, if it'll take him as long as he said, we can't wait until Judgment Day. We don't have that much time.
I'll try to ask him if I can help in some way.
You should definitely do that. Without a trebuchet, we're much too weak.
How are you faring, Sir Raybard?
How do you think I'm faring, lad? There's some cutthroat thug lolling about in my bed at the castle.
Well, at least no one's raised Talmberg.
Not so far. Though we may end up doing it ourselves to smoke the bastard out.
I imagine Sir Divish isn't taking it too well.
And why do you think he handed command over to me? But it pains my heart, too. That place is my home.
What's the easiest way to take back Talmberg?
The easiest way? Call in the Royal Army and leave it to them. But there's no Royal Army to help us now, and we can't afford to wait. What's more, we don't want to destroy the castle. Personally, I'd like to return to it.
Repairing the castle will be expensive.
And time-consuming. No trebuchets wholly on target. The missiles fly as they please. And if we blast the castle to pieces and Sigismund comes back, he'll make short work of us.
Do you think Sigismund will come back?
How do I know what's in his head? But if he doesn't take advantage of this chaos, someone else probably will. The whole country will know about it soon enough.
I'd never have thought so many people were keeping an eye on Talmberg. Like that fellow Havel.
Not only Talmberg, and we've left precious few men in Ratai. If we're defeated here, who's to stop them from pillaging the whole province? And there's no shortage of power-hungry bastards like Havel and Toth in Bohemia.
Is there some way we can get through the gate?
There are steps from the gate up to the walkway on the battlements, and I don't know how Istvan's covering them. Then there's the portcullis to get through. A big battering ram might breach it, but how could you get one that close? I reckon we'll have to set fire to it.
Stack up brushwood and light it?
Brushwood, timber, anything that burns, soaked in as much pitch as possible. The local charcoal burners surely have some.
And even if it doesn't burn the gate right down, it'll weaken it and make it easier to break through.
Exactly.
And what about the walls? Which side is the most vulnerable?
The south and east are solid. It would be useless to try anything there.
It's best defended from the north, and as for the west...
From the west is where we tried it, and got royally fucked, if you recall. But I think in the end we'll try that way again, only this time we'll do it better.
Pity they didn't stay holed up in Vranyk for longer. It would have been much easier there.
Toth is a wily fox. If he'd had all his men with him there would have been real carnage. It's likely we only won there because he'd already gone and taken most of his best soldiers with him.
Is there anything else I can help with?
Well, we need some pitch. I know you had dealings with the charcoal burners.
I've met a few, true enough.
Then have a look around the area. If you manage to find any pitch, bring it to our quartermaster in the camp at the quarry. Farewell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good day to you.
How are we doing with the food?
Who wants to know? One of their lordships?
No, I just wondered if there was anything you're short of.
Oh, I see. The lordling is wondering if we're in urgent need of anything. Well. To tell the truth, we don't have much meat. They bring it round often enough, but never as much as they should.
Yes, I've heard something like that.
I'll say. Every other man's moaning on about it. The gamekeepers are doing all they can, but they can't keep up. So if you know how to help them out, bring it right here. I'll take care of the rest.
Fine, I'll keep that in mind. I brought you some meat.
Stack it over here. What's going on?
Do we have any beer?
Christ, I wish we did. Our ale's all gone and we've drained the local inn dry.
That's bad news.
Don't I know it? You can't go and catch a beer in the woods either. But if you happen to know about some, let's hear it. News like that'd refresh me almost as much as a drink. And the lads, too. May the Lord watch over you.
Good day to you.
How are the men holding up?
They're a rabble. The out-of-towners are desperate to go home. And the locals, they've got nowhere else to go. So they're just generally complaining.
Are they causing trouble?
No trouble as such. It's true I've caught a few of them asleep on their watch. There's nothing a couple of lashes of the whip can't cure.
Well, there might be a simpler solution.
Whipping a man's simple enough. Just give one of them a beating, the others will remember. When they forget, do it again.
But then you'd have an injured soldier. It occurred to me a herbal potion might do the trick.
I never heard of any wives' quackery helping troop morale. But Christ knows they could do with something to flush the booze out of them and keep their eyes open.
How goes it, Sir Bernard?
How goes it? We're sitting here under the castle, and all day long there's folks hewing stones. My ears are ringing as if I'd been struck on the head, which is just how I feel.
I've felt that way too since the night of the attack.
That went horribly wrong. And even so, we were lucky. Could have gone much worse. God be with you.
Good God, what happened to your clothes? If you were robbed, you should report it.
The troops are falling asleep on guard duty. Do you have anything to help?
There's a recipe I know. I could brew up enough for 2 or 3 men with what I have here.
No, I need enough for a whole bloody encampment. Actually, for 3 camps.
That much? It would take me a week just to pick the herbs for it. Unless you were to do a bit of the legwork yourself.
Seems only reasonable, since I'm the one who wants it. What do you need?
1 handful of valerian and 2 of mint, but make sure it's fresh. And a little wormwood wouldn't hurt.
I've gathered up all we need.
Excellent. This will probably do the trick. And do you have the wormwood?
Here it is.
Fine, fine. I'll get started. It's going to take a while. Good luck, then.
Yeah.
God.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
I'm sorry about that, but I don't have any to spare. I can hold out a while with what I have, but I'd be running short myself if it came to that. You'll have to try somewhere else. Take care now.
Yeah.
God be with you.
I'm looking for some pitch for Talmberg.
Already? What happened to the last lot we supplied?
I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Do you have any, or don't you?
I do. I had a buyer lined up, but it's been a while since he showed his face. What do you need it for?
Talmberg's been taken by a horde of brigands, so we're laying siege to it. We could use some pitch.
Christ blood. I hadn't heard the news. All right, it's all yours. You gave us a hand with that ginger when we needed it, and if it's for Sir Divish, I know my duty. If you want to haul it away yourself, feel free, or I can get someone to deliver it to you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Good luck, then.
God be with you.
Andrew, there's no more beer in Talmberg, and the soldiers are starting to grumble. Can't you send some there?
I could. There's nothing in it for me.
Just as a matter of interest, who do you pay your taxes to?
You're saying I should be paying the Talmberg to old Sir Divish? When Sir Havel of Waldeck was the master here, I managed to wriggle out of it. Nobody's come collecting since.
Well, right now, there are 3 noblemen camped by Talmberg, one of whom might be very interested to learn about all the tax you owe. I imagine he might want to collect it in the form of beer.
The gentry have other things on their minds right now than a tavern,
My pleasure.
the borderlands. They'd need someone to remind them of it first.
You're not suggesting...
You wouldn't be the sort to go off there and snitch on me, now would you?
The camp's not that far away. Imagine if the soldiers got so upset by the lack of beer, they went on the hunt for it and ended up here. They could do some real damage. Wouldn't it be better to have them drunk and happy somewhere else?
If they came here for a drink, I'd sell it to them. Why would they do any damage?
What if someone lied to them that you were a Toth supporter and that they'd have to make do with water?
I knew you were a bastard, but I didn't expect you to turn on me too.
I do like things to go my way.
I'll send it there. But just remember, everyone gets what's coming to them eventually. One day, you're bound to come across someone who isn't such a pushover.
Maybe. But in the meantime, make sure to send the best you have. After all, we don't want anyone to feel unwell enough to think about settling the score, do we?
Bye.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I brought you some meat.
Stack it over here.
That's the lot.
Great. If we're really going to have to storm the walls, then at least it should be with full bellies. Oh, and here's something for your trouble.
I've arranged some beer for you from the local tavern.
You're a proper treasure, you are. I'm gonna put a word in about how well you look after us. Like your own kith and kin.
The charcoal burners nearby have some stocks of pitch they'll let us have.
That's handy. Sir Robard will be pleased. What little we had left was running out, and he was getting worried.
Well, you can stop worrying.
Good. I'll get someone to take care of it. Take care now.
God bless you. What troubles you?
How do you feel, Sir Divish? How's the shoulder?
I felt better, boy. I feel awful, truth be told, and my shoulder's paining me.
Let someone tend to the wound and you'll soon be better.
The flesh can be healed, perhaps, but the spirit... Henry, can you do something for me?
What is it you need, sir?
I need a priest as well as a physician. The closest was in Rovna, but I don't know what happened to him. And then there's the one from Ujits. What's his name?
Godwin. But why would you need a priest? The wound will heal, especially with the help of one of the monks.
It's not about me. I've got a lot of wounded here that won't see morning, and dead men, and I have to confess my sins. Goodbye.
There's something I need from you, Father Godwin.
Is there, my son? How can I help?
There are a lot of dead and wounded at Talmberg, and no one to make the sign of the cross on their foreheads.
I'd like to help you, Henry, but I have other concerns.
What's happening?
I have a delegation here from the Archbishopric in Prague. They claim I have a heretic in my parish, and there's talk of building pyres. I fear if I left matters here unattended, half the villagers would be roasted before I got back.
I see. Sort of.
Go and ask elsewhere. There's bound to be a willing servant of God left around here somewhere. God be with you.
God save you!
I see there's not much going on around here. So you've stayed here on your own?
Quite so. All by myself. All the others were either killed by the Cumans or fled to Rattay.
I'm sorry to hear that. And what's keeping you here, alone?
My older brother ran away with the wandering players, so when our father was on his deathbed, he made me swear I'd never leave our home.
I can see you took your vow seriously.
I did. And it's starting to get dangerous around here. Again.
The Cumans?
If it were Cumans, I'd grab an axe and that would be that. But a week back, some rabble made their way through here. They begged me for food, and mark my words, they weren't taking no for an answer. If they'd been just a tad hungrier, I swear they would have stormed the cottage.
There are gangs like that around, true enough. I saw the mess they left behind. Savages.
It was horrible. People tried to find shelter in the church, but them dogs was waiting. They knew too well that's where folk would try to hide.
And where did you hide?
By the grace of God, I got my family away into the woods.
But I don't see your family with you. I hope those bastards didn't sniff them out.
No, it takes better man than them to track me down. I sent my wife to Rattay with some others.
Do you think folk will ever go back to their homes?
Oh, I don't know about Skalitz, but the folk here are sure to want to come back. The only thing they're missing is spiritual support.
Do you mean the priest?
Indeed. When the land's at war, noblemen fight to protect their property. But simple folk want someone to tend their souls.
Of course. But it was the Skalitz parish priest who ministered here, wasn't it?
He did. But there's been no sign of him since the attack. Or at least he's definitely not in Rattay among the refugees.
That's true enough. I didn't see him there.
But if you're interested, young fella, maybe you could help us find the priest we need here.
I can always ask. But I've really got no idea where to start.
I can help with that. A few years ago, there used to be another priest in Skalitz. Simon, I think his name was.
Simon? Father Simon, I remember him. That's the one who went missing, right?
Aye. I don't want to spread rumours, but they say he was in love with his housekeeper. And then she died somehow, poor thing.
That's not a story I've come across.
It only reaches folk who care for such tales. Well, to finish the story, Simon left the parish and ran away. You know that already. There was neither sight nor sound of him for a long time. Until this spring, he showed up here.
And what's he doing here?
That's just it. People say he's become a hermit.
All right.
And where can I find him?
I couldn't tell you exactly, but you could start by talking to that girl's parents. Well, they live on a farm nearby, and it's likely they know more. They may even have had words with him.
I'll go and see what they have to say for themselves.
God go with you, lad, and I pray you find him. If some heathen stabs me in my sleep, I'd rather have a decent burial.
Don't worry. I'll bring someone.
Take care.
Came from over here. Jesus Christ be praised. How may I serve you?
I'm looking for the priest, Father Simon, and I heard you might know of him.
Simon? What do you want him for?
I'm looking for the priest who used to take care of St. James, and the locals tell me they saw him around here.
I don't know if I can help you there. He'll never go back to his parish, if you ask me. Very well. What is it you want to know?
What went on between Simon and your daughter?
Nothing that hasn't happened before. Our Mary was his housemaid in Skalitz. She was pretty, very pretty. And he was young, and so things went the way they do between comely young folk. She came back home one day, heavy with child.
Yes, these things happen. What can you do?
I said as much. I was just glad our girl was provided for. Only she never had the chance to hold that babe in her arms. She didn't live through the birth.
I'm very sorry.
Such is a woman's lot in life. Men die in battle, and women in the arms of the midwife.
And what happened to Simon?
The poor man. He took it the worst. He was sure God's wrath smote Mary for her fornication.
That's rubbish. People lie together out of wedlock all the time, and God never smites them down.
That's just what I told him. But it's hardly my place to lecture a priest. And who knows? Maybe he was right. The Lord moves in mysterious ways. He was overflowing with grief. He barely spoke, didn't eat, refused to take a new housemaid. And then, one fine day, the presbytery was deserted. It took a good season before another priest came along.
Where can I find him? He's said to be wandering around here somewhere.
I heard that too, and I'm inclined to believe it, even though I haven't seen him myself.
How come?
After our poor Mary went to her rest, we used some of the money he'd paid us to put a cross up by the roadside. And lately, there's been wreaths of comfrey turning up next to it. I don't take them there, nor my husband neither.
You think Simon does?
Who knows? Maybe it's a miracle. I could believe anything. But there's not been fresh ones for a while, so perhaps he's moved on elsewhere again.
I see. Can you tell me where that cross is?
Certainly. There are settling tanks for the mines to the west of Skalitz. On the hill above them in the woods, there are several paths. Mary's cross is by one of them, close to the brook.
All right, thanks. I'll be going.
Very good, then. And if you do find him, let him know that we have no hard feelings.
I'll tell him.
Good luck, then.
May the Lord watch over you, Henry.
Has something happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This must be that cross. Mary's mother was right. Someone did lay flowers here recently. I should have a look around and see if there's comfrey growing anywhere nearby.
Besides, I don't recall you protesting while you were hungry.
Of course not. I ain't had a...
Hey, you! What are you doing here?
I've come for the priest. Simon.
There's no one here called that.
There is. Do you take me for a fool?
All right. Maybe there is someone here. What of it? We're not going anywhere.
I think you should talk less and move your legs more.
And why is that? You think you've got what it takes to beat us?
I might. But it doesn't matter, because I saw you yesterday, and then stopped by Talmberg to report. So, unless you'd rather wait for Sir Divish's Captain Robard, you should go now.
Shit! All right, we'll go. How far are they?
Far enough still. If you run, I'm sure you'll get away.
Right. Thanks for the warning. What the?
Are you all right?
Yes, I think so. Oh, what happened to those wretches?
They're skulking around here somewhere.
Good God! Couldn't you scare them off somehow? I'm afraid they'll be back.
I'll see what I can do.
Just don't hurt anyone. Oh, thank you, my son. I was beginning to fear I'd never get out of here alive.
They didn't look dangerous. The only thing at risk was your possessions.
I know, poor fools. But I was afraid they'd leave me here. What would I have done then? And to whom do I owe my salvation?
My name's Henry. You may remember me. I'm the son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
Your face does seem familiar. But listen, Henry, I can't help feeling you didn't stumble across me by accident.
It's true. I've come to ask a favor of you.
Me? What on earth could I do for you?
I need you to go back to St. James. The folk there need spiritual guidance. Skalitz has a burned-out shell, and many have died in St. James. They need a priest. Any priest.
I understand, but I have to disappoint you. I gave up my calling. Instead, I've given myself over to repentance.
I know your story, Father.
Then you know what I'm guilty of.
Yes, and I don't want to try to make light of it. Your conscience is your own affair, but I know that deep down you're a good man.
You don't know what you're saying. You don't know me.
But I know what you did. Many priests break God's commandments willy-nilly and aren't the least ashamed.
That doesn't absolve me of my sins. God's law is set, no matter how often it's violated.
You're certainly right, but the people need you. And forgive me for being blunt, But while you can leave the presbytery if you choose, it doesn't absolve you of your duty to Christian folk.
But I'm a sinner. I'm not fit to guide anyone. I'm unworthy to do so.
Priests, bishops, monks, abbots, they're all sinners. Even the Holy Father himself is a sinner. You've done your penance, and now your people need you.
You're probably right. It is my duty. At least for a time, until they find someone better.
I don't think they'll find anyone better in a hurry.
All right. I'll take what I can carry and go back to St. James.
Thank you. Your parishioners will be very grateful.
I need your help, Father.
And what's troubling you, my son?
Me personally, nothing. But Sir Divish is wounded and seeks to make his peace. And there are casualties at Talmberg and wounded men who may not live to see the morning.
I understand. There's much work to be done by a priest. Feel free to return to your duties, my son. I'll bundle up a few things, tell the neighbors, and head down the road myself.
Thank you, Father.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I found you a priest.
Really? That's wonderful news. Who is it?
The former parish priest of St. James. I persuaded him to return to live among you, at least for a while.
So you found him?
Yes. He was roaming the woods around here.
Thank God. You'll see. Once there's a priest, people will soon be back.
I hope so.
I've put together a small sum for a new piece. So I thought a portion should definitely go to you, as a reward.
I couldn't possibly take it. You'll need the money to rebuild the village.
As you wish, then. I shan't weigh you down with it.
So, farewell to you. And I hope he gets here soon. Just that you let him run off again.
I'll keep an eye on him myself. Godspeed to you, Henry. And thank you for your help. See you later.
I've come to ask for help.
Again? Such trying times we live in. God is testing us all. So what is it you need?
Their lordships have laid siege to Talmberg, and the brigands have wounded Sir Divish and many other people. I'm to ask if the monastery might send someone to help.
Sadly, I can't assist you. I have many needy folk right here requiring my constant care. I can't just leave them.
And what if I helped you out here? You'd have more free time, and there's a wounded nobleman at Talmberg who needs a proper physician.
Yes, then I'd be willing to go, but not until everything has been put to rights here first.
Very well. Where should I start?
Talk to Johanka. She knows what's needed.
Goodbye.
I just can't.
Greetings, Henry.
What's happening here? Oh my God. Philip and... they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Ratai unconscious, and I needed a healer. How is everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
Doesn't anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars all around you.
Scholars, maybe, but they leave the healing up to God. Nicodemus is trying, but everything he knows is from his books.
Can I have a look at them myself? I know a little about healing.
Do you now? And what would you do if you burnt yourself at the forge?
That actually happened to me once. Fritz pissed on the burn and it was right as rain the next day.
I see. Well, better talk to Brother Nicodemus before trying that treatment here.
Doesn't the monastery care for them?
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep, but I wouldn't say they help exactly. More like they just tolerate us.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe, but convalescents need feeding up.
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
Very well. And how are you doing? You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
I could do something about it, if you liked.
No, I can deal with him. The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
What can you tell me about the custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week, Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power.
Good luck, then.
Quiet!
Stay here.
Hey!
You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
Oh, if that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
How are the wounded from Skalitz?
Some of them are well taken care of. But others are dying here needlessly. It's a good thing we have Johanka here. I'd never be able to manage on my own.
So you don't normally treat the wounded then?
Well, there were accidents, of course. A broken leg, someone who'd been kicked by a cow or bitten by a goat.
Quiet!
But this, I've never dealt with the carnage of battle before.
If only it had been a battle. This was cold-blooded slaughter.
You were there? God be merciful to you and the dead and the wounded.
How can I help you?
Have you talked to Johanka?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a look. However, you don't look like you've studied the Hippocratic arts.
That's true. I'm the son of a blacksmith, but I have been around the wounded before. What do I do if I'm not sure of the treatment?
Come and speak to me. We'll see what we can do.
What do you think about the custodian?
Baron von Berg? Well, he does his job well. He keeps us safe here. And the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his rash.
I heard he's been here a lot lately.
That's true. He comes to visit Johanka, but he's never here long, and he always leaves unsatisfied.
Thank you. Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
Can't you do anything? Won't the others help?
Unfortunately not. The brothers in the cloister aren't much interested in the external world, and the custodian has enough on his plate with the chaos in the region. Besides, his main concern is the smooth running of the monastery.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. I can't believe your conscience lets you leave the Skalitz locals in such a state.
I know. I'm ashamed. But my brothers believe it's all in God's hands now.
Even so, conditions here seem to me quite unchristian.
You're not the only one.
Hey, Henry's...
Dave!
What the...
You thought I wouldn't find out? You didn't return the relic.
But I... Oh, bugger.
How could you do that? It's because of people like you that they won't let decent folk in.
God damn! Kunda! Ow! Way off. Is that the best you can do?
Fuck it! You asked for it.
God be with you.
I'm helping at the infirmary now, and I came to...
Ah, and how is Johanka? Do you know her well?
Yes, I do.
Good, good. Does she ever talk about me?
I'm mainly here for supplies and to talk about the state of the wounded from Skalitz. They need blankets, food...
Well, that's not my problem. Let the infirmarius take care of it.
His hands are tied. Until the abbot comes back, he can't get anything.
And why should that interest me?
Maybe because of Johanka.
What precisely are you getting at?
She has a kind heart. Everyone can see how deeply she cares about the wounded. If you help her selflessly, it'll win her over. She's bound to be impressed.
Maybe you're right. It will cost me something, but I'll discuss it with Nicodemus. I should be able to help in some way. See you later.
Damn.
Yeah!
Henry, how are you?
I brought some meat.
Thank you, Henry. Rich food will definitely help.
Tell me more about the situation here.
Please.
All right.
Take care.
I can't. I just can't.
Good luck, then.
Thank you.
God be with you.
Everything here is fine?
Please, help me. Christ above! I can't get a wink of sleep.
What are you making such a fuss about?
A fuss? Because of my leg, I have to stay here for at least another week. Hurts like fuck. And with everyone else moaning and groaning all night, I can't get any sleep.
Maybe I can make you something to help you sleep.
Oh, then for God's sake, do it quickly.
Good luck to you.
Everything here is fine?
What do you want?
You're not from Skalitz?
No, but please help me. I can't stay here.
What happened to you?
I was working on the building when the scaffolding up by the roof collapsed underneath me.
Well,
I just won't get any sleep.
and you're very lucky you survived at all.
Yes, that's what everyone tells me. But it's no use being alive if all I can do is lie here like a wet sack of barley.
Well, you're pretty battered, but I don't see anything that a few weeks' rest can't fix.
Weeks? My God, I have to get back to work sooner than that.
What's the problem? Why can't you stay until you heal?
I have a family. I'm poor. It's only thanks to the building work that we can survive. And the master told me if I don't come back in a few days, then I shouldn't come back at all. And where can me and my wife go then? Who'll take us in? We'll end up living in the woods, where any bandit or ruffian can set on us.
I can't. I just can't.
Is there anything I can do to help? It looks like they took care of your wounds.
When I was little, my father got trampled on by a horse, and an old hag from the village gave him some kind of purple herbs for it. And he got better very quickly.
And do you remember what the herbs were?
I don't. But there's supposed to be the whole cursed knowledge of the world in this place. Something has to be written about it. A herbarium, anything.
I'll try to find something.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck to you. He'll be able to get out of this on his own.
What do you want?
You look all right?
Mostly, but my leg still hurts.
Did the humans wound you?
That's what I tell the ladies. Truth is, I did myself a mischief while I was running away.
And do they rebandage it for you?
Occasionally. They told me they don't have enough bandages.
Well, that's no use. Those bandages need changing. I've got bandages, so I can take care of it.
Wonderful. Could you tell Brother Nicodemus?
I can't sleep again.
I can do it myself.
I thought you were a blacksmith.
Do you have something against blacksmiths?
Nothing at all. Just maybe it would be better if you went for Nicodemus.
All right, then.
Farewell.
Everything here is fine. He'll be able to get out of this on his own. I'm not needed here. He's not reacting. But all I can see that's wrong with him is his leg. Philip, from Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly. What happened to Philip?
Philip?
He's unconscious. He's shivering and he has a fever.
Ah, I didn't know that. When he first came here, he was fine. No wounds on him. He was escorting the others. Then he got worse and worse until he lost consciousness entirely. Ask Johanka. Maybe she'll know more.
I can't sleep again.
I need help with rebandaging.
Hands? I know, but there aren't any bandages.
I have bandages, but I don't know how to put them on.
Then I'll be happy to help. Goodbye.
Greetings, Henry.
What's wrong with that man by the altar? He doesn't look wounded, but he's really pale and doesn't react at all.
He had a broken leg. A bad one. The bone had come right through the skin. We tried to straighten it, but I don't know if we did it right. I'm not holding out much hope for him. I've seen folk in that state before, and it didn't end well.
My God! There has to be something we can do.
And what do you suggest? The monks won't help, and I don't know anyone else who can.
Well, I can try. I'll straighten his leg.
You?
Unfortunately, I've had occasion to try this sort of thing before. You have to place the bones as precisely as you can next to each other.
Get any sleep.
It's hard, but you have to ignore any screams of pain. That's the only way to help him.
Well, fine. Try it then.
What happened to Philip?
Poor man. There was nothing wrong with him, and now he's getting worse every day.
But do you know why?
Maybe. He didn't run away from Skalitz, you see. He hid for days, among the corpses. If he got poisoned.
But what can we do?
Us? Nothing. Only Father Simon might have been able to save him. He knew a lot about poisons.
But I found him. He preaches in a church in Rovna.
He's alive. Then talk to him.
One of the sick men, Semek, is complaining about pain and the fact he can't work. He says he...
Semek? Is he one of our people?
No, he's a construction worker. He's bruised and confined to...
Henry, for God's sake, our neighbours are dying here. You're friends. There isn't time to waste on some construction worker's bruises. Oh, honestly, what were you thinking?
Listen, all I need to find out is the name of a herb.
Then go and look it up in a book. You've got your own herbarium, haven't you? God be with you.
Are you holding him firmly?
Aye.
Quiet.
Done.
May the Lord watch over you.
How about some potion to induce heavy sleep?
Certainly. The old reliable.
Reliable?
Some of the brothers like a good sleep, and sometimes that's the only way to get one. I'll show you how.
Thanks. Do you know anything about herbs?
I'm not an expert, but I know a little something. Is it urgent?
Well, one of the workers who was injured during construction would like to get back to work. He mentioned some purple flowers that would...
Herbs.
Oh, purple herbs that should help.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but you can have a look in the herbarium here. There won't be too many purple herbs for bruises and sprains. Take care now.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Oh, better be something.
Hopefully I have what you need.
Good luck then.
I just can't.
Oh,
hopefully I...
Thank you. With any luck, I'll soon be feeling better. If you find the time, stop by to see me in a few days. Take care.
Dear Mistress Johanka, I come again in admiration of your selfless dedication. I would like to invite you to a fine banquet at my palace. You certainly have earned some... What business have you here, fellow? Who let you in?
I'm taking care of the wounded, as I'm sure you're aware.
Ah. Well then, run along and take care of them, and let me talk to Johanka. You're not needed here.
I won't get any sleep. I just won't get any sleep.
Wouldn't it be better to have the banquet here, Custodian?
What?
If you won't give the sick anything else...
Nobody's going to talk to me that way. Lock him up for the night and let him learn some manners.
Good health to you.
I need help with treatment.
And what's wrong with you?
Oh, nothing. But Philip from Skalitz is dying. He's lying in Sasau and won't last long.
Slowly now. What happened to him?
Nobody knows much. He's not wounded, but I heard he was hiding from the Cumans for days in a pile of carcasses.
The Lord have mercy. The living should never lie with the dead. His intestines must be purged, but even then he's in God's hands.
How do I clean his intestines?
It might surprise you, but you'll have to give him alcoholic spirits. The purest you can get your hands on. The best is distilled from Artemisia. It'll make him a bit delirious, but it'll help. I'll show you how to prepare it.
May the Lord watch over you.
What the...
I can't sleep again.
Good luck to you.
I can't sleep again. Quiet!
Thank you.
Goodbye.
I won't get any sleep. I just won't get any sleep. Quiet!
I've got something for you.
Really?
Drink this, and you'll fall straight to sleep.
Oh, thank you. God be with you.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Oh, it's you.
I see you look much better.
No, I feel much better. Then I heard it was all down to you. Thank you. If you ever need to know about anything that's going on in Sasau, come and see me. There's nothing much happens here without my knowledge. Thomas is my name. God be with you.
How are you feeling?
Good. It feels clean. Hope it helps.
It will. Tell them to rebandage you daily. You have the bandages here.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Don't mention it.
Take care.
You saved me. You've no idea what you've done for me. Oh, God, thank you.
I didn't do that much.
You did more than anyone else here. I'm sorry, I've got no money to repay you, but I can tell you a secret. How workers like me keep up back-breaking labour day after day.
He just needs to sleep. These wounds have been well taken care of.
Henry.
That custodian Sebastian is really obnoxious.
He can be unpleasant, but in his own way. I don't know.
You can't be serious.
What's that supposed to mean? At least he was here, unlike you, the whole time. And anyway, mind your own business. God be with you. Henry.
Tell me more. All right. How are the sick and wounded faring? I don't think there's anything more I can do for them.
You did what you could. Truly. I don't know what I would have done without you. You saved a lot of lives. Take care.
I'll come to ask for help.
Again? Such trying times we live in. God is testing us all. So what is it you need?
Their lordships have laid siege to Talmberg, and the brigands have wounded Sir Divish and many other people. I'm to ask if the monastery might send someone to help.
These are tragic times. Fortunately, I've only a little work left to do here, so I'll gather my things and set off for Talmberg.
Thank you, Father. May God reward you 1,000 times.
May the Lord watch over you.
Good date.
So, is the concoction ready?
All done. Here, take the keg. I won't be lugging a heavy great thing like that around myself.
Thank you for your help.
Well, best of luck, lad. Now, I need a rest. Take care.
God be with you.
This ought to help with your sleepy soldiers.
What's in it? It stinks to hell.
Yes, and it's hellish potent too. A drop in the evening, and you won't fall asleep till just before noon.
Really? I hope it does the job, that it doesn't give them a runs in the process.
Hopefully not. But if it does, well, it's hard to sleep with the runs, isn't it?
True enough, but you're not much good as a guard when you're squatting in the bushes. See you later.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
Sir Robard sent me to you. He said you have to build a trebuchet.
Indeed. A trebuchet that can smash the walls of Talmberg. I, a mining engineer. What do I know of war machines? I'll never manage it on my own.
Well, I'd like to help you, but how? I don't know anything about trebuchets either.
Actually, there is a way you could help. Conrad Keyser came to Sasso recently. If you could get him to come here, it would save my skin.
Conrad Keyser? Who's he?
He's a scholar who studied medicine, but he also designed siege engines. He even took part in the siege of Nicopolis, together with Sigismund.
He was with Sigismund?
It's not so straightforward. They quarrelled after the battle, after Conrad blamed their defeat on Sigismund.
I don't suppose he took that too well.
Quite. That's what led to Conrad being banished from Prague and making a base at Bethlen Castle.
Banished? Like a common criminal?
He was a member of the court and a doctor and a master engineer, so nothing quite that bad befell him. I've even heard he has a whole host of wise men with him and they're writing some book together.
What's he doing here in Sassau?
They sent him over here to help with building the monastery. No doubt they had to pay handsomely to get him.
You're still an engineer, though. Couldn't you build it yourself?
Are you serious? Do you know how complicated such a machine is? What forces are at work in the contraption? If we were lucky, it wouldn't fire at all. Far more likely it would smash itself to smithereens and kill lots of us instead of the enemy.
And how am I supposed to get him here? Abduct him?
Well, only if all else fails. We need his cooperation. Try having a word with him. By all accounts, he hates Sigismund.
All right, I'll do what I can.
Thank you, Henry. Maybe we will build that trebuchet after all. God be with you.
Oh, come on. What are you trying on here? My humble greetings. How may I serve you?
Is this where Conrad Keyser lives?
Indeed. The world-renowned Conrad Keyser.
World-renowned?
If not yet, then soon. Our Master Keyser is a mastermind. You wouldn't believe the things he comes up with. You'll be hearing more of him, you mark my words.
I need to speak to him.
Oh, really? Whatever for?
I'm a fellow thinker, and I'd like to discuss my hypotheses with Master Keyser.
And what ones would those be exactly?
Stronghold construction. I have this new idea for building, and a chat with the Master would be very valuable.
That sounds important. Come on in. The Master's inside. Here's the key. God be with you.
Enter. Huh? By the horn of Joshua, you startled me. I thought you were urban. What do you want?
Sir Tobias Fayfar, the master builder and engineer from Skalitz, sends his greetings.
Fayfar? Tobias Fayfar? I've heard of him. He invented an interesting mining machine. What does he need?
Sir, have you heard what's been going on in Talmberg?
I've heard a thing or two. Is it true the castle's been taken?
It has, and we want to take it back. Master Fayfar has been given the task of building a trebuchet, but he's not sure he can manage it.
I doubt it myself. Building siege engines is an entirely different kettle of fish than mining. Damn, I'd like to rain some boulders on those heathens of Sigismund's. But that can't be done with a quill and parchment, and I can't leave here right now.
Why can't you leave?
That's a long story. I was a little, more than a little, critical of Sigismund's efforts at Nicopolis. And it might surprise you to know, after that defeat, he didn't particularly appreciate my criticism. Then, when Sigismund abducted the king, I didn't feel too secure in Prague, so I left. Perhaps left is the wrong word. Some might say I was banished. In any case, I went to Bethlern Castle.
They locked you up in Bethlern?
Not quite. It's a royal castle. They leave me to my own devices there. Frankly, this so-called banishment has been a bit of a blessing. I have peace and quiet to attend to my opus and a band of able assistants. Although I have lost quite a few of my patrons, thanks to all this unrest.
And why are you here in Sassa?
To be honest, I need the money.
Money, sir? You don't seem like a man who lives in want.
Dear me, no. I don't need it to support myself. It's to fund my opus. That's why I agreed to help with the construction of the monastery. So, you see, I can't simply take my leave.
What is it you're working on, sir?
Belli Fortis. A great book of war machines and weapons. My opus magnum, my legacy. All you have seen here are but snippets of my great work. Mark my words. One day, our whole world will be run by machines and inventions not yet dreamed of.
Of course. Any day now, they'll plough our fields and milk our cattle.
What did you say?
Oh, nothing. Just thinking aloud about things for battle. Who do you work for here?
My contract is with the abbot himself, but I discuss the work details with Carol, the monastery's master builder.
Could I help you escape, perhaps?
Who says I want to?
But you said you couldn't leave, sir.
Young man, I can't leave because I gave my word I'd help with the building of the monastery here. And my word is my bond. I have no intention of sneaking away like some criminal.
Couldn't Carol be persuaded somehow? After all, the defence of the province is at stake.
I realise that, but Sassa Monastery has always kept its neutrality. What's more, the abbot isn't here at present, and without his permission, Carol won't be persuaded. But I might have another idea.
What do you suggest?
Carroll received his commission in writing. If you found it, we could copy the abbot's seal and signature on our own document.
That's a curiously interesting idea.
My inventiveness has many applications. I could be back here before the abbot, so he won't even know I was gone.
How do I get my hands on the commission?
It will be somewhere in his quarters. You'll need to get it quickly and put it back before he notices it's gone. I suggest waiting until evening. That's when Carroll usually goes to the tavern to play dice. He's fond of his dice. Maybe you can take advantage of that somehow.
Right. I'll see what I can do.
Damn.
I hope I can be of...
I need some help from Master Conrad.
Then go and talk to him.
The thing is, he's already agreed, but he'd have to go to Talmberg.
I can't consent to that. He signed a contract for building the monastery, and we pay him a pile of coin for every day he spends here.
But the conquest of Talmberg is more important for the province.
From what I hear, it's awfully important first and foremost for your lord. Sassau's always been neutral. Anyway, I take my orders directly from the abbot.
Conrad would only have to leave for a few days. Surely you can manage without him for a short while.
We might, if he didn't get himself killed there. I've given my answer. No. He stays here until the abbot says otherwise, and the abbot isn't here at the moment.
Supposing I compensated you for his brief absence, perhaps with some coin?
What use would coin be to me if the monastery roof collapses? Then I'd be the one having to pay compensation.
Thank you for your...
You're welcome.
May God...
Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you're here again. Well, I never.
God be with you.
I hear you like to play dice.
Always.
Henry!
Good luck.
Hey, I can't believe it. We've known each other our whole lives.
Why? Oh,
Pour me
why
an
did
ale.
I ever agree to this? I'll lose my shirt again. I hope that's the end of it. This will be the one. I shouldn't have pushed it.
Got it for you right here.
Any chance of a bite to eat?
Here we are. My pleasure.
Over here.
That's it.
I'd like
get
some
my
water.
own ale.
Hey, where's my
Here
ale?
you
To get
are.
a drink here.
And good health.
We'll see.
Got it for you right here. Coming right up.
That's all.
Got it for you right here. My pleasure.
Bottom to the women. God bless them.
Coming.
I'd like something to eat. I'd like a beer.
I'll bring it right away.
That'll do me. If it keeps going this way, I'll never get a decent game out of it.
A meal to go with the ale, please.
Jesus.
That's it.
What do I have to do to get a drink here?
God, I don't believe it.
Here.
Not afraid of anything, eh?
Here we are.
You're lucky. You're too damn lucky for my taste.
Cheers!
Close eye.
Ale.
Those were my last goddamn groschen.
I've just realised, without that money, you'll be short of coin for Conrad's wages, won't you?
You fucker!
What a shame. But I'll gladly give you your money back.
What?
I'll fetch it right away.
If you allow Conrad a short sabbatical in Talmberg.
That's what you had up your sleeve from the very beginning.
Agreed then?
I'll give you 1 week.
Yeah.
After all this... They're after me! Sweet Jesus, I knew this day would come!
What? Who is... Carol said you can leave and...
Leave? I can't even set foot outside the door! Not now!
Please, calm down and tell me what's going on.
They're after me!
Who? Who's after you?
Sigismund's people, of course!
Why would they be after you?
Because he's never forgiven my criticisms of Nicopolis. Now he's decided to pay me back. What am I to do?
What makes you think someone's after you?
When I was on my way to Sassau, I saw Baron Pekar in Kosterlitz. He was with Sigismund on the crusade, as was I. Now I've been told he was seen at the local tavern. And a stranger's been creeping around the gardens here late at night. My God, there are signs someone was trying to force the door. They're after me, Henry. The Lord preserve me. They want to kill me.
Take it easy. If someone's after you, I'll see to him. I'll have a sniff around the town or lie in wait for him.
I don't know. What if he sneaks past you?
He won't, I promise. I'll hide in the garden, and if anyone starts creeping around after dark, I'll catch him.
You will, won't you? Good, good. And be sure to hide well. If he sees you, he won't come. They're after me, damn it.
Bloody thing.
Halt! What are you doing here?
Quiet, for God's sake. You'll wake the whole monastery.
Silence! For God's sake, I caught you in the middle of an assassination attempt.
Assassination? What are you on about?
Are you Lord Pekar, the one who was on the crusade?
Well, yes. How'd you know that?
Because you've come to assassinate Conrad Keyser.
Keyser? He's living here in the monastery?
Well, yes. Right here in this house. What's your business here?
It's all a terrible mistake. I've a long-standing arrangement with the custodian here, Sir Sebastian von Berg. I supply him with salt and spices, and I've come to realise how he's been cheating me repeatedly. The dispute's been running for a while and still has legs. So I wanted my money back, that's all. I've no quarrel with Conrad.
I don't believe a word you say.
Well, sorry, but I'm telling the truth. I suppose there's nothing to be done about it, unless you intend to skewer me on the spot. But if it will help you sleep better, I'll stop creeping around here at night and find some other way to deal with the custodian. May the Lord watch over you. Ah! I'll find you. Alla dobre. Cunt. Oh. Way off.
Christ. An assassin after all this time. Well, did you find anyone?
I did.
And?
He's dead. He was an assassin, all right.
Lord have mercy. Was it Pekar?
It was. He made excuses about a conflict with Sir Sebastian, but it was clear what he meant to do.
So they are after me. I knew it. Sweet Jesus, there'll be more. I need to hide away somewhere.
Come to Talmberg. You'll be surrounded by a whole garrison there.
Yes. Yes, I suppose that does make sense. Thank you, Henry. I'm in your debt. We'll meet at Talmberg. A well-chosen site. You want to strike the gate, do you?
True. We don't want to do more damage than necessary.
I quite understand. Sir Toth is holed up there, is he?
Just so, Master Conrad. I hear you have some accounts to settle with him.
Ah, not entirely. I've done with him. Sigismund trusted him more than me in his campaign against the Ottomans, and we all know how that ended up.
How did it end up?
Badly, my lord. The flower of French knighthood was slain there. Sigismund fled for his life, and I did too, I must confess.
Be assured we shall not make the same mistake here. We do not intend to starve them into submission, but to break down the gate.
I am at your service, my lords. We will build the trebuchet quickly. It will be ready in a matter of days. And I can supply, for example, Roquetta to sweep the foe from the battlements.
Roquetta? I do not believe I've heard of such a term.
Roquetta are missiles filled with black powder with a touch hole at the bottom to ignite it. They shoot forward, something like a hand cannon, but without rocks. The rocket is the missile.
I see. But we don't have black powder in these parts. Nor cannon.
Indeed. It should have occurred to me. But I am very fond of Roquetta, and I always think what Alexander the Great might have accomplished with them. I understand. We find ourselves in a conventional situation that demands a conventional solution.
I'm still hoping that Toth will see sense and parley with us.
He may well do so, especially when we set up the trebuchet on his doorstep.